Thank you guys for tuning in today. Check out my video cooking some yellow rice, beans, and carne guisada. I love to cook, love to be in the kitchen, and love to make sure that my wifey has a plate of food by the time she gets home. Can't wait for my baby boy to build an interest in cooking as well. My daughter's already kind of showing me that she's got what it takes to be in the kitchen, so it's awesome seeing them grow and also seeing them have that bit of independence. So please enjoy the video. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. And don't forget, stop by the website, www.jq215vlog.com, and pick up some merchandise. Thank you. Oh man, oh man. On the phone with my kids, these little rascals. I'm cooking a dinner in my home, and they're out there asking me to DoorDash them some Wendy's. But you gotta love them, man. The kids, just technology and what they allow us to do for our children without having to be right there physically means a lot. So big ups to technology. Big ups to the next 5G network that's gonna help us get through this as well. But guys, today I'm cooking ajo amarillo con habichuela rosada y carne guisada con papa. Now, as you may know, I'm not the best at Spanish, so I don't even know if I spelled the title right. So if I didn't spell the title right, give me the correct spelling in the comments below. I was going to Google it, but I just wanted to see if I had the skills to type in Spanish. But as you can see here, guys, a little bit of everything: salt, pepper, adobo, garlic seasoning, onion powder, vinegar, paprika. You can here see canned corn, pink beans. There goes my beautiful daughter right there. And these are most of the ingredients that I use most of the time when I cook. I cook rice a lot. I love rice, and personally, I love cooking, and I'm glad that I can be the stay-at-home husband that makes sure that his wife has a meal before she comes home. Plus, she's pretty violent, so if I don't cook for her by the time she get home, she's probably gonna fuck me up. So, for all you guys out there, I hope you enjoy this session of what I'm cooking. If you have any questions, just let me know.
All right. So, what was I going to say to you? I forgot.
So guys, you'll see I'm using some cool copper tone pots. My cousin Boy and Madame got them for us when we lived in, I believe it was Jacksonville. I think they came out to Jacksonville, hung out to my house in Jackson. They got us a gift, so super thankful for those guys. These pots, guys, if I haven't told you already, Boy and Madame, these pots are the shit. So thank you for that. We actually tried not using them for a while just to preserve them and save them, but I cooked one time in it and noticed nothing stick at all, nothing burnt at all. It was perfect. So if you don't have any pots like that, definitely grab yourself some. You'll see me washing my hands several times throughout here. Sometimes I have the camera still, sometimes I won't. I actually edited some of it as well. But my Uncle Harry, if anybody out there knows my Uncle Harry in Philly, that was my guy. But he was the one who taught me to make sure my hands are clean, avoid germs. And now we got this scare with the coronavirus. So the last thing I want to do is be passing on bacteria and germs and stuff like that. So I like to make sure that not only my meat is clean, but of course all my pots are spotless before I get started with cooking. And then, throughout the video, you'll see that I clean other parts of the food that I'm going to be cooking as well. So I wanted to show you guys that. I like to keep the pots on simmer, especially with the carne guisada. My wife has taught me with a little water and vinegar and carne. Let it sit for about 45 minutes to an hour, and that's going to soften that meat up real well. So you see me dropping it in the pot. I'm not going to add any of my seasonings or anything like that to it just yet. It's just a matter of water and vinegar. I don't like the vinegar smell, so as you see there, when I put the meat in, I smell my fingers. I hate it. I hate vinegar. So for all you guys who love those salt and vinegar chips that used to sit next to me eating that stuff, you already know I used to talk crap to you. Damn salt and vinegar chips smell horrible. Matter of fact, Hector, my friend Hector Santiago, this fool likes salt and vinegar chips since we were young. And he used to, I used to hate that smell. But yeah, so you get the pots boiling, get the stove going. A lot of the oil we use is either mazola or vegetable oil. My wife pretty much told me I can cook with both, doesn't matter. The stuff I keep in the fridge is my recadito, my goya sofrito. I keep my mojo criollo in there. I keep my salsa de tomate in there, as well as my father's sofrito. You guys are going to see that in a minute when I'm dumping that in, but my father's sofrito is bomb. Oh man, so couple things I throw in my pot of rice: sazon, adobo, onion powder, garlic powder, my father's famous sofrito. I like to throw in salsa de tomate. I like to throw in veggies too. Like another thing my wife has taught me through cooking is, although you threw in salsa de tomate, you should still cut up some tomatoes and dice them up real nice and thin so they can cook inside the rice with the rest of the food. Guys, I don't know, but there is a difference. So if you try cooking one day with just the powdered seasonings, and then you switch up and do powdered seasonings and actual vegetables cut up and diced up, you're gonna see there's a difference. Taste wise, there's a difference. Now, as you can see here, I'm not following any specific recipe. This is just me cooking, getting used to cooking, and things that I add when I'm cooking. I always throw in a little bit of spice. I don't like spicy food, but I still like it to have a tiny bit of a kick. So as you can see, I threw some paprika in there as well. Originally, guys, when I started this video, I had it going 8 times the speed, which was too fast. So I definitely slowed it down to 2. Since I had to speed it up just a little bit so I didn't create an hour-long cooking video, I made sure to do my own voiceover. So although the video itself is silent, this is my voice separate from the video, because had I used the video audio, it would just sound like I'm a chipmunk talking throughout the whole video. I'm pretty organized when I'm cooking. So as you can see here, I set my spices aside, move them over once I'm done, because they're going to go into the second pot, which is going to be my carne guisada pot. Leave that aside because I am going to use it again. But then I get out my cutting board and my knife and my veggies and start going ham with that. Now, if any of you guys feel like I'm using the cutting board incorrectly, like the cutting method of my knife, please let me know. Let me know. Educate me. Leave a comment below and say, hey, Jose, you were supposed to be cutting this way, from front to back instead of from back to front, or whatever the case is. I don't know too many of the the terms that chefs use, but for the most part, I try my best, and I just try to make sure that I stay consistent with the way I cook. So shout out to you guys for checking this out. Please leave a comment below. Let me know, even if you want the recipe, what I used. If you want me to do another video cooking something else, leave a comment, drop it down below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, still hit the like button and send me a message as to why you don't like it. So at this point, Jose is getting real dicey. Not that funny, as you can see. So, cutting up some of my veggies. Guys, be very, very frugal with your veggies. I've seen people when I've gone to houses, pretty much half the vegetable is still ready to be cut down and used, and they just throw it in the garbage. Man, I don't know if y'all grew up this way. Excuse me. But I grew up with a mother and a father that always reminded me that there were people out there less fortunate, and I should be a little more considerate. So this is why if you guys ever see me with a big ass plate of food and the food is gone in 10 seconds, it's because I grew up with the belief that not everybody has it the way I have it. So I like to make sure that I eat all my food, and I like to make sure that I use up all of my ingredients as much as possible without letting one thing slide. I don't care how much money you got in the bank, man. Nobody should ever live like they don't give a shit about everything and they can just throw it away. Because if that's the case, put the shit in a bag and send it to another country or give it to someone less fortunate. I think we all have enough time to do that. And if you don't have enough time and you get paid that much, pay somebody to do that shit for you. But yeah, onions, tomato, green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper. That's pretty much it for veggies. Sometimes I have actual garlic cloves that I cut up myself, and I like to thin slice the garlic. My guys at the movie Goodfellas If anybody's ever watched Goodfellas, he uh he was like using a blade to cut the garlic, which was hilarious. But guys, I love mafia flicks, so Goodfellas, Casino, all of that shit. I love it, man. So if you guys haven't seen those movies, check it out. But for those of you that have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I like to do here is once again continue to cut up, continue to drop in the pot. Try not to leave the heat too high in the pot so you don't start to burn the ingredients in the bottom. Sometimes I tend to make that mistake by not watching it and stirring it enough. So as you can see here, I'm starting to stir it because I see that it's getting a little stuck. So grab some water, make sure it's not sticking to the bottom, and keep it going. I mean, guys, if you're doing what I'm doing here, or if you have your own method, your house probably smells amazing. I love the smell of the seasoning and the ingredients getting boiled before the rice hits the pot. It smells amazing. All right. So that's pretty much it on this side, guys. I'm going to let you guys see the rest of me cutting up some veggies, and then I am going to jump back on for the next segment. All right, guys. So this part right here, you'll notice, guys, that I'm washing a lot of the stuff that I'm cooking with. So not really washing, rinsing. So I grab the beans, throw them in my bowl, rinse them in my mixing bowl. Guys, pardon the small mistake. I let the carne overflow and then it burned the stove. Before I go into me washing the beans and the rice and stuff like that, this is a glass electric range stove. There's this liquid that you can buy that it turns into like a chalky kind of feel. So when you put it on the stove, you then rub it into the stove and then let it dry. It creates this chalky material. It looks like shit. It looks like cocaine on a damn stove. You then take a razor and then you scrape the stuff off softly. So for any of you guys who have a glass stove, it is very expensive to replace. So you got to make sure you do not damage your glass stove. So don't use brillos or anything like that on your glass stove. Take care of your glass stove. It is very expensive to replace. So you'll start to see probably within the next day or two, I'm going to add the Amazon link for the material that I use to clean the glass stove. So stay tuned for that one. Here goes my beans, pink beans. I love pink beans. I actually never ate pinto beans before until Liz introduced them to me. So now I love pinto beans more than anything. So I like to just get in there. What I've been told is that the bubbles are like protein, so it's not a big deal. But I like to just rinse it out as much as possible, get all the canned stuff taste out of it, and then I like to do the same thing with the rice. The rice has this residue on the grains that once you wash it, you see the white water. And the white water, guys, is not a big deal. It just needs to be rinsed out. So as you can see here, I pretty much use it for the beans first, and then go into my rice bowl and then do it for my rice as well. That black tape that I have on the bowl, the black tape is I forgot what is it called. It's like that liquid stuff that Flex Seal, but Flex Seal makes a tape as well, so I put the tape on the bowl to cover it instead of buying a new one. You're gonna see all types of cheap antics from me, guys, just because I'm very frugal and I try to save as much as I can. However, you got to spend when you have to, but save when you can. Spend when you have to and save when you can. I like that. I'm actually going to start using it. And as you're rinsing the rice, guys, you're going to see the cloudy water. You just got to keep emptying it out. Get in there, empty it. Don't lose your rice grains. Put more water in, rinse it out again, empty it until you pretty much see it as clear as possible. And shout out to Jay and Bianca and my godson. They were actually at the house during this time period when I was recording. I was actually cooking for them. So if you guys want to know if the food turned out well or not, all you got to do is reach out to them and they'll tell you if it was good. They gave me the thumbs up, but if you want to reach out just to confirm, definitely do that. But please don't forget, if you wash your rice, let me know. If you wash your beans, let me know. If you cook with a different pot, let me know. I want to hear what you guys do when you're in the kitchen, how you handle it. Oh man, but trust me, man, I love me some rice and beans. All right. And as we get near to the end of the video, you start to see the rice cook up a little more. Oh man, it smells so amazing. I have a vent under my microwave on top of the stove, so it gets a lot of the steam out. So that's why you see it kind of flying upwards. But for the most part, guys, man, if you were here, you would smell it. If you were here, you would smell it. You'd be like, God damn, who's in the kitchen cooking that good old food? That's my impression of an older person saying, who's in the kitchen cooking that food? I don't know why older people sound like that to me, but they do. Same thing, guys. Everything I did with the rice, with the veggies, cutting them up, getting them ready is the same thing I'm doing with the carne guisada. I'm going to let it sit for another hour inside, just kind of marinating. As you can see, I'm kind of doing a couple things at one. And a while back when my boy Ronnie Hernandez was, he was out here, he was visiting, and I was cooking for them as well. He asked me, he's like, bro, I don't know how you do it. How do you cook? And yada yada. And I explained to him, like, bro, it's one, know what you're cooking. Have an idea. What are you gonna cook? Then know what tools you're gonna use, right? You're gonna use pots, or you're gonna use bowls, or you're gonna use spoons, or you're gonna use knives. Know where everything's at. One thing about being a stay-at-home husband and father is I'm learning where everything's at. So when I'm cooking, guys, if you're in the kitchen with me, you see me flying. Fridge, cabinet, drawer, sink, and I just know where everything's at, and I keep it where it stays in the same place. So one, it's multitasking. You got to make sure that as you're cooking everything, one thing's not burning while you're preparing the next. So for me, I know my rice takes anywhere from 30 to about an hour to cook, where the grains are so soft and moist. And I know it's going to take me about 2 hours to truly soften this carne guisada and make the sabor real good. So with that being said, I start the carne first, boil that as much as possible, and then start cooking the rice. Because the rice is going to be done probably before everything, but I still want the rice to sit and simmer in low heat. So as you can see here, there we go. Cutting up the veggies, pretty much, for the most part, you guys saw my veggies. I cut them down to the bare bones. And then left everything else, packed it away, and was good to go. But I like to use up as much of veggie as I can. And a lot of the stuff we buy from Publix. So for all you guys who know about Florida, stop at Publix if you get a shot to come out here. Publix wings are amazing. Publix hoagies are amazing. Chicken sandwiches are amazing. They pretty much have a little bit of everything, but Publix is awesome. And every time they cut up meat and cheese for you, they always give you a slice to taste and check it out. But the customer service is always so amazing there. So if you're a Floridian, you know what Publix is about. It's kind of like Acme for Philly, but even kinder people. And this is me just grabbing another pot. Once again, carne guisada is done in one pot. I let it sit. And then I create another pot where I'm going to put, the oil, the seasonings, the líquido, the sofrito, the adobo, onions, veggies, all that stuff. I'm going to drop it in there so it can cook. And then it softens up. Everything spreads. Pretty much the veggies kind of dissolve. And then I throw the carne in there for another hour. So it sits in that sabor and creates that taste. So when you're eating it with your rice, you taste it. It tastes good. last but not least, guys, that was Lucas right there. I have my potatoes. So what I like to do, especially when I'm doing beans, carne guisada, and things of that nature, I like to make sure to drop a few potatoes in there. What I've learned about putting potatoes and in my líquido and all that good stuff is that the potatoes kind of they soften up, but then they create like a thicker liquid. So it's not just a watered down version of the caldo. You have a thicker version as long as the potatoes are in there with enough time. So for the most part, I try to keep them in there long enough, but not too long because Liz doesn't like the mushy potatoes. She likes to still have a little solid texture to the potatoes. And I mean, we normally keep our potatoes in our cabinet, but I pretty much, as you can see here, I gotta cut them up and then dig into them a little bit just to get the crap out. I promise you, I don't cut the potatoes this fast. This is just me fast forwarding through the video so you can catch as much content as you can. And then once the potatoes are done, of course, cut them up into a few pieces, prepare them, and get them into the right pot. As I told you guys before, right? Try to make sure you keep rinsing your hands, rinse the veggies, rinse the rice, all that good stuff. And then when we get back to the stove, you guys are going to start to see what the rice is starting to look like. So once I'm done cutting these bad boys up, well, probably even sooner than that. There you go. So that's my rice right there, guys. It's nowhere near complete, but I like to mix it up real good just to make sure the entire pot is being cooked thoroughly. At this point, guys, the house smells amazing. The rice was amazing. I always have enough so I can package for tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll have more rice so I can eat during lunch, or I can pack a lunch for my wife so she can eat while she's at work. And then you see the carne still kind of boiling on low. You see the sabor boiling. And then at this point, I got to make the decision to cut up the potatoes, drop them in, keep it stirring, and then drop the meat so the meat could then have that same sabor that I want that to have. But overall, guys, the stuff that I cook in general, it's not that complicated. It's just a matter of taste, right? It's a matter of how much seasoning are you putting in, what do your ingredients look like. So I'll have my own version of what I'm cooking. Like my dad cooks differently, my mother cooks differently, my aunt cooks. Everybody has different tasting food, but for the most part, anybody who eats it outside of our family already tells us that, hey, it still tastes damn good. So that's pretty much it. And most of the time when I cook, I always try to get like a ready cake mix and make some cupcakes. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing with these cupcakes, or is it the mixer, or what's the process that I'm doing, but these cupcakes that I'm making are so fluffy. It's like a bunch of sponge cakes. It's pretty awesome. I use funfetti, I use chocolate, I use vanilla, a little bit of everything. But that's the gist of the video, guys. Cheetos, oh no, cheese doodles, Doritos, and it's honey barbecue. Those are my 3 favorite chips. So if you're ever in town, let me know. Those are my 3 faves. But that is pretty much it, guys. That's the gist of the video. Definitely wanted to show you guys what I got going on, a little bit of the kitchen, how I get around, my cooking abilities, and what I love. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the content. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'm also going to add a card so you guys can fill out a poll. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for all my JQ215ers. Don't forget to stop by the website, www.jq215vlog.com. Thank you.